Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astrogat Mysore. So, carrying on with the subject, sorry. Yesterday, I had done Chaturvarnas and the food habits. And people might be thinking why Rahu and Ketu were left off. So, please understand, Rahu and Ketu are outsiders and very clearly called as mlechas. Mlechas, the people who are outsiders. They are not from within the Chaturvarna concept. They do not come into the framework of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Then what are they? We should understand. So one is outside the society because he does not want the society. And one is outside the society because none of his habits belong there in the society. So, apologies for this sound. I don't know, from morning they are doing it. So, let them carry on with their work. We will carry on with ours. So, first, see, as I have written, it is just a talk on Rahu and Ketu. Anyway, I will be converging on the topic of food habits. Because that's what I had done yesterday, and a detailed discussion on Rahu and Ketu will be done on every single topic. Whatever I have learned, be just pouring it down here. So, I'll again revisit that point. A society or a social network was formed with the Chaturvarnas, that is the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, that is the thinker, the defender or the one who owns, the one who can give you protection, the one who can do all the business, that is a Vaishya, and the one who can work the workforce. This is a complete setup. Ketu are those people who are of two types. One is those people who feel they do not belong to this setup of the society and they simply walk away and take sannyasa. So sannyasa is not an easy task to take. Please don't underestimate these people. Don't think that you can just take sannyasa by throwing everything and simply, by selling your car. No, it's not. If that book would have been like if I was selling my Maruti Alto, it would not have got sold. The book also sold into millions because that car was a huge brand. I will not talk about the brand. Anyway, I have read the book, it's a nice book. Okay. It's not that you give away things thinking that you want to become a sannyasi. It's not like that. The sannyasatva, that is the belief of becoming a sannyasi, should come within you. It should be a drive that you will think only of one thing to attain salvation, and through what? Through jnana marga. Through meditation to hatha yoga, sadhana, and then the sadhaka becomes a yogi. This is through depriving, or let us say he doesn't deprive, he himself depriving means that there is a craving and still he wants to deprive. Try to understand. If there is a craving inside and if you deprive, that is as though a diabetic patient is not given sugar to eat. He wants, but he is not given. That doesn't mean that he becomes a sannyasi or he has taken sannyasatva from sugar. No. If there is a craving, only then you feel deprived. So it is not the way Ketu acts. In many other cases, I have seen that Ketu makes a person go through deprivation when there is no yoga for sannyasa in the chart, but Ketu is very strong. So what it does, It slowly cuts away one after the other material luxuries to that concerned native, though the native himself willfully does not want to go away with. So, leaving leaving all the affections, afflictions, all these material sukha, that is happiness, voluntarily because there is an urge to leave. This is what is known as sannyasa, renunciation, not deprivation. You can't tell that I have done this, and that is why I am a sannyasi. No, you will never be a sannyasi. You cannot do it yourself. It has to happen. It's a process, it's a phenomena, and it is a very difficult thing to do. You need to make your mind as strong as a rock, as frozen as a rock. Never get, it should never melt. You should keep it as cool as it is. It's as tranquil. These words, frozen, tranquility, all these words come under Ketu, which actually gives you a subtle mind, and the subtle mind will be able to reach beautiful, bliss the other way around. So that is why Ketu is out of the system. He cannot be in the system. He cannot be included into, the brahmacharya. The after brahmacharya is that, the grihastha, then the vanaprastha, and then we get the sannyasa. You cannot include all these, the Ketu in all these steps. He just jumps into sannyasa. So sannyasis are revered, no doubt, but they are not included in the Chaturvarna system. They are the higher individuals who think very high. So that is what is Ketu. It is not parajnana, but aparajnana. Aparajnana is not with regard to what is manifest, but regard to the one who manifests. Think about this. Not that what is manifest. Those that is manifest are controlled by the other 7 planets. So you want parajnana, go behind these planets. You want aparajnana, only one fellow is there, who is the aura, that is Ketu. The other way around. Then Rahu, what is Rahu? He is nothing but indulgence. He indulges and indulges and indulges from Surya, then Chandra, then Mangala, then Buddha, Guru, Shukra, Shani, and then comes Rahu. So, normal people go through this process of attainment to salvation. That is, they go through Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, and then go through the Rahu, and then they try to go through Ketu. I think by that time it will be, ages, and they will tell, okay, not this lifetime, let me do it the next lifetime. So they will carry it forward. So then what is Rahu? Rahu is the curiosity to do everything. To do everything. Both these planets are not bad when they are lonely and not afflicted. They are posited in the chart without any other planet. So now I am telling you one word, that if Rahu is not afflicted, so people might be thinking, when Rahu and Ketu are bad themselves, then how come they get afflicted? Yes, Rahu and Ketu also get afflicted by any planet which is posited along with it. When Sun is with it, Rahu becomes super aggressive, super egoistic. I want to rule the world, I want to be the king, I am everything. So that's how it is. So when Rahu and Jupiter are together, he will be immensely proud about himself like the sun, and then he wants this, I want that. So the greed starts. I want everything. Once again, like Sun wanted to rule everything, Jupiter wants everything. So he even gets all the other ailments like diabetes, the kidney, the liver, the pancreas, whatever. It keeps coming one after the other. So because they want everything. So indulgence. So whatever Jupiter is, it gets multiply increased, multiple folds. So the person who has a Rahu Guru Chandala Yoga will have a super strong craving for the materialistic part of Jupiter. Think about it. Now, when Rahu and Moon are there, the materialistic part of emotion, you know, I love this, I love that, I cannot be without this. So, this is how Rahu enhances the qualities of all the other seven planets to its materialistic qualities, not the qualities of achieving moksha or achieving salvation, but to the materialistic qualities. The same thing is on the reverse. You put a planet along with Ketu, it will kill the qualities, the materialistic qualities of that planet which is associated with Ketu. So, if Sun is with Ketu, ego is killed. If Moon is with Ketu, emotions are killed. You please go through this. I will do a elaborate class on each combination with Ketu, and these things will keep coming in the next coming sessions. So we will now go and understand one subject in detail, that is the food habits. Ketu means krusha. Krusha means small, less, meager. So, very frugal eaters, Ketu, less, they eat less, they disassociate or lose appetite. They want to disassociate themselves with food. They don't want food. They will tell no to food because I don't know why. Because loss of appetite, we know why. Loss of taste, this also happens. Now there are so many other, even corona also, when it comes the loss of taste, is that people who might have already experienced how difficult it is to eat food which is tasteless. Because human beings, we have got addicted to taste. So that is the Rahu part. But anyway, Ketu kills the taste buds. When it is sitting in the second house, people will understand that they need an extra punch in their food. So Ketu is perfection. So perfection in the preparation of food. So they are very perfect. So that is a difficulty. Then when you are very perfect, finally you will end up not preparing it because you will not have everything perfect to prepare the food. So they would usually eat for survival, and they lack interest in all these pompous shows. They will not go for a spread of food which is huge, the 1,500, 2,500, 3,500. You can go for any number of amount, you still will get one plate of food. And the Ketu will tell, one time to eat for 4 hours of survival, I don't have to pay so much of money. So it's a waste. Let me eat a fruit, let me drink a fruit juice, or let me eat a plate of some small meal, it's enough. Why simply waste this much money? Waste this much money is not because he is a miser, but he tells this is not the way we should live life. So that is Ketu. So they are not choosy, but are particular with regard to hygiene. Very particular, because they can see everything. They are very perfect in their thinking, thought process, very sharp, acute. So they will be able to figure out what it is. So they are very good. They are one of the best, critics of food. Though their taste buds are not that great, but they are one of the best critics of food because they know how food has to be arranged. So when it mingles with planets, it usually shuts down that planet with regard to the materialistic requirement and even the food requirement. So I have made some notes here. So let me go to the part of Rahu. Rahu is, again, as I told, it's indulgence. They want to indulge into all things what are available to eat on this planet. They are not worried about it. It's as good as the Aghora Riti. So they want to go in and experience everything, so that the experience itself will keep repetitively they keep experiencing it, and one fine day they'll lose interest on it. So this is another way of doing it. Overindulgence will also make you lose interest in anything what you have got indulged, but that doesn't mean that is the only way or route. That is this is the route which Agora, that is the Agoris use to go for salvation, and for them The Aghora is nothing but the Shiva in the Rudra Rupa is their deity, and for Ketu, it's the absolute Shiva, which is only for the Jnana, the Trinetra, who is only for the, an elevation. They are nowhere attached to the body. They are in the body and they know that the body is a means in which they can take their quest to elevation ahead. So, um, let me go through once small combinations like Rahu and Jupiter. They will start indulge in they will start to indulge themselves in fat oriented sweets, fat oriented, that is carbohydrates. These dishes with more cream and all these things, butter. So Rahu and Saturn means that they will fall down in the strata. They will go for low level foods like meat, liquor, which nowadays is becoming common. So that's what yesterday also I told, that people are falling down. Their thinking ability is going down only because their indulgence is increasing. So their way of thought, the process of thought. That's why we don't have good writers, we don't have good lyricists nowadays as they were earlier, because earlier people had good practices. So I'm not telling this is a bad practice, this is a worst practice of falling down in strata, losing hope, indulging in food and other unnecessary, night outs, which actually is not going to elevate a person to a better personality. No. So again, when we Rahu and Shukra, I have been doing this tough combinations, which I will continue once again. So Rahu and Shukra, extravagancy, extravagant, special food. They want it to be, the show, the pompous. They want it to be very expensive and elaborate. So the more the planets with Rahu, the more the effect with regard to unnecessary indulgence, the more the planets with Ketu, the more the refinement, that is, more the detachment. So one should now understand the importance of the axis of Rahu and Ketu, which is very important. We need to understand that before actually deciphering the chart. I usually go through the axis of Rahu and Ketu, the 6th, 8th and the 12th houses. Only then I go into the ascendant and the Lord of the ascendant, where is he placed and all those things. But if we do not understand the Triksthanas, the 6, 8 and the 12 and Rahu and Ketu's position in the chart, we will not be able to understand the chart itself. So thank you very much for today's class. It was a brief class on Rahu and Ketu. I am not able to do a lengthy class because I have seen that people skip and skip. I don't know what has happened. Maybe my lectures are not that interesting that people skip the lecture. I don't know. Maybe after some days I would also put in some interesting facts so that it will become more interesting. I think I am becoming too technical about it. Thank you very much for today's class.